What was that? What was that
Who the fuck is talking right now?
Oh, that's all right. Key.
What was that, Kimo? Who was that?
Key.
What the fuck?
What the
More.
fuck?
Hey guys, how we going? Good morning today to one and all. What a fantastic day we have. We have a black swan, which demonstrates that the Earth cannot, and I repeat, cannot be a spherical object of 3959. And that should demonstrate, that should be enough, that should be more than enough to show you guys that the Earth is not curved. Now, what I've got today is...
Emo.
Good morning.
I hate to cut you off for a second, bro. I'm on one of my drunken rants right now. Do you mind?
The what?
I'm on one of my drunken rants right now.
A mic drop?
Oh, I'm on one of my drunken rants.
Oh, drunken rants, right.
Yeah, and you're disturbing my drunken rant. Do you mind?
Well, I've got something quite important. I've got a playlist.
I mean, it would have been nice if you'd asked first before just walking in. I'm sorry, Kimo. Next time, can you please ask before just jumping in and fucking assuming it's Kimo time?
Sure.
I was on a drunken rant, and you have essentially just stopped me from going on my drunken rant.
But Kimo's going to tell us the Earth is flat.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm still a little mad though. You got to have respect for your fellow people in the room.
Kimo. I'd rather hear a Kimo branch instead of you, to be honest.
I don't give a fuck about what you fucking hear, yeah? Well, what I fucking want Kimo to say is, why the fuck does he think it's okay just to walk in the room and take over? I was fucking talking.
All right then, Branch. What were you talking about?
All you had to say was, "Hey, Branch, excuse me, mind if I go on my own rant?" I would have been like, "Yeah, Kimo, go ahead."
Yeah, thanks, Branch. So what we've got is some Black Swan footage. It's been compiled into a playlist to ensure that every stone is turned, look in every corner. So if you take a look at these oil rigs, we've got 10 miles out, we've got 90-foot helipad. A lot of these things should be obstructed at the elevations that we give. So, I mean, what are the explanations for why? What we can see. Does anyone have any answers?
So you agree it's a refraction, right, Kimo?
Refraction?
Yeah, let me make this point with you've been told this 1,000 times, Kimo.
Okay.
Does it not get through? Is there something blocking your cognitive dissonance?
What did you tell me? What did you say?
You understand, right? How come you can't keep seeing any ocean past the 10-mile mark?
Well, that would be turbidity, yes?
No.
No, what is it? Why can't...
You know what?
I've given you my answer. I've given you my answer, Davros. Right. What was your answer? Why can't you see? Sorry, go ahead.
I think one blurry picture has changed my mind, and I will now inform the entire scientific community, inform my university, that we have to change our entire view of reality in the world because of a blurry picture. Oh my God, I'm convinced.
No, I posted a video. We've got a playlist here.
Oh, a blurry video as well as a blurry picture. Okay, that's even better. Now I'm definitely going to inform my university and all my scientific peers that everything we've learned has been proven wrong with no math by one blurry picture.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to join me and take a look at this with me, and obviously when we watch it back, it will make a lot more sense to you what we're discussing. So here we have platform Grace from 175 feet elevation. Again, this should be completely hidden behind the curvature. What is the explanation for this?
Yeah. Do you know how refraction works?
How does it work? How do you see it works? How do you see it working?
Do you know? No, I asked you. Don't ask me. I asked you. Do you know how refraction works?
Well, how would you think it works?
Just refraction.
Okay,
how does it work?
What is refraction?
What does it mean? Okay. What does it mean? You tell me, Mr. I've got the Black Swan. I know all the answers. You give me the answers. What's refraction?
Okay, so how are you connecting refraction to the images that we see right now?
Answer the question. What's refraction?
Yeah, why
What
are
does
you
it do?
including refraction to the images that we see right now?
You asked for what's the explanation, and I'm asking you what's refraction.
Yeah, I'm asking you how are you connecting refraction to the images that we see right now on screen?
Because I can, and when you give me the definition of it, I'll definitely be able to make the steel man out.
Okay, so refraction is not the answer for the observations that we see. If you were to take a look at these images, you would see that there is...
So what does that word mean? What does it do? What's refraction?
Oh, that's where light is bending, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, light refracts, light is bending. But where do you see refraction in this image here?
Is it bending or being bent? Which one?
Is it being bent? Is it bending? Okay, so where do you include that in this image here?
Hang on.
Chemo, quick.
Oh, Branch!
I thought you had something fucking amazing to say, Chemo. When I said, why did you interrupt me? You said, because you had some groundbreaking fucking news to tell us all. And now we're talking about refraction again.
No, it's it's his 6-month-old observation, Branch.
Groundbreaking news. You promised us.
Yeah, we're looking for an explanation of why we can see distance. We can see why the horizon is not in its physical location. That's what...
But horizon isn't a physical location. It's an apparent location.
Okay, so how do we make any calculations? How do we calculate the distance to the horizon?
Well, you don't use the geometric horizon, that's for sure.
So how do we calculate the distance to the horizon?
Well, not using the geometric horizon.
How do you calculate it?
Yeah, not using the geometric horizon.
So how,
in general, very difficult.
How would you go about
calculate
calculating the distance to the physical horizon?
No,
you can only
say that.
Yeah, it's not the physical, it's the apparent horizon, and you can't generally calculate it with accuracy ahead of time because the conditions, there's too many variables, including, for example, refraction, uneven surfaces. It's very hard to predict the actual distance you can see
So
at any given time.
Why do you calculate for objects being obstructed beyond the horizon?
Davros, I have a question.
Yeah.
So in ship navigation, we're like, when the fuck do they even when the fuck does the distance to the horizon even matter?
Well, it matters because... Oh, sorry, that's Davros.
Yeah. So the question was posed to me, Chemo. Is your name Davros? Or are you part of Big Pharma?
Thank goodness it's
not. Because if you
so.
are, you can answer. Well, no, if you are part of Big Pharma,
goodness,
you can answer.
I'm not Davros, but go ahead, Davros.
Right, so... Yeah, but there's no need for them to worry about the horizon. You know why? Because it can trick them. That's exactly what happened to the Titanic. They didn't see what was coming, right? Because they didn't know the distance. Because they couldn't see it properly.
I'm sorry,
now,
dude, that's got nothing to do with the Titanic and this shit. Two different things, bro.
So what we're hearing is, and what we're saying basically, that geometry is not...
Not done yet. I'm not finished. I'm still talking to Mr. Scientist.
You were finished.
I'm just thinking, like,
give it a second.
if you're navigating, you use control points and waypoints for your trip. Shut up, Ranch. And you use GPS coordinates to do so. Where the horizon, it doesn't matter.
Even prior to that, they wouldn't even use horizons.
Who the fuck just told me to shut up?
I did. Brent, shut the fuck up,
dude,
okay?
Haribo. Who's talking right now?
I was trying to talk to Davros, but you had to open your shit mouth again and say nothing.
Hey, rocket scientist. That was...
Yeah, I said it was me.
I
identified myself.
You should have said that before. I would have let you talk. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
You done, Branch?
Go ahead, bro. What are you going to say?
Davros?
Yeah, okay. So if they didn't have land markers to use, right, especially at night, how the hell are they going to know where that horizon is? Okay? They wouldn't. What they would do is they would check their position against the celestial objects they could see. So it could either be the moon, and they would track the moon and use that as a navigation device, but that was sometimes incorrect depending on the season. Or they would use a particular set of stars along the navigated track. During the day, you can see shit from the crow's nest. Oh,
So
and a compass.
As if you guys know anything about sailing. Fucking hell.
I'm just thinking, like, when the hell
The
would it even
Discord
matter
trolls.
in navigation?
Sailing? Like, you mean on the seas?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to say they know about now. Going on crow's nests, looking across the sea horizon. What a load of shit.
One thing that
Did I say anything about the horizon? Did I say you could see the horizon?
No, hold on. The whole fucking last time I was on a cruise ship. Last time I was on a cruise ship, I actually felt the cruise ship tilt down. I actually felt the cruise ship tilt down while it was going over the horizon. How was that?
I believe you.
Yeah, and how the fuck do you think a U-boat in 1942 was able to manage to get from one place to another undetected without having to come up if they didn't know how to use a map and a compass?
As if you're an expert on U-boats, fucking hell.
But why?
You're the professor.
Why was the cruise ship constantly tilting down? It was going with the horizon all the time. That's why.
Go on, Dawn. If you're the expert at fucking sailing,
I'm not an expert.
Right,
but you say you're an expert at sailing, Don. You're not an expert at sailing. Don't say
no,
you
I'm
are.
not. I would not claim to be. I would not do a monologue
you
on
would.
sailing.
You just did. I heard you say it.
I'm here to argue against your reaction to Flat Earth. I don't care about sailing.
I like Flat Earth. Flat Earth is awesome, dude.
Mr. Scott, what we're trying to do...
Just let them believe what they want to believe, John.
No, but seriously, guys.
Okay, you guys are doing the point a little bit here.
When that motherfucker, right?
We were talking about the Horizon, the Black Swan. I've posted a playlist here, Mr. Scott.
Hold on.
It shows all of the different Black Swan videos. Let me put that up.
Well, please.
That's just one of the videos. This
I'm still talking. Can you please
this entire playlist is...
Let me finish what I've got to say, Kimo, before you start.
Oh, I posted the wrong...
So basically, what I'm trying to say is this. Some motherfucker took a fucking level on a fucking plane, and they got, what, a million fucking views, yeah? What we got to do is fucking level, put it on a fucking cruise ship. You will see there's always dipping down, go over the horizon.
Romy, hot mate.
Do this shit on a cruise ship. You will fucking understand that, yeah, cruise ship dips down a little bit, go over the fucking horizon.
So, Mr. Scott, because we are discussing this Black Swan, I don't know if you can see some of those images there. So we can see boats missing, objects missing, bottom up. So is that something that you would calculate for, concerning like your height, distance to the boat, to the horizon? How would we know how much of that boat is missing based on what?
What are you asking? You're asking me.
Yeah,
exactly
so this boat is missing now. We can see the bottom of this boat. Can't see the bottom of this boat. I've just posted. We can't see the bottom of this boat. But how would we calculate how much should or shouldn't be seen?
Trust.
What an idiot.
It depends on there's a couple of different ways to do it, but it depends on what you know and what you don't know. What do you know about? Do you know the distance of the boat? Do you know the height the height of the boat?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are we using geometry to figure out these things here? What are we doing?
Sure, yeah, of course. Geometry, that works.
Okay, so how will we do that then? So there's a boat, it's missing.
Well,
what do we need to know? Why and how?
What do we know about it? Do we know anything?
Yeah, do you see the video that we're looking at? On screen right now.
Do we know the distance of the boat? What are all the variables we know?
Yeah, so I'm saying that we need to know the height of the observer.
Okay, but do we know the distance of the boat?
We could say, do we need to know the distance to the boat? For what reason?
No, but it changes what we do. Like, if we know the distance, we can do it certain ways. If we don't know the distance, we do it another way.
Why is the distance to the boat important?
Because it tells us how far over the curve it should be.
Over the curvature? Is that just light, you mean? Just light? Is that just like the
just
an apparent position? So it's not actually happening? What do you mean exactly?
No, it is actually happening. Apparent doesn't mean not actually happening.
Well, I'm saying that the bottom of the boat is missing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to calculate using geometry.
The bottom of the boat is missing. It means that it's being blocked by something.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Something. We don't know what that something is. Now,
it's
how will we figure out what that something is?
Well, it's the Earth's curvature, and the question is, how much of it is covering it? That's what you want to know, right? What are we missing?
Yeah, but how do we work it out? We need the height of the observer. Yeah?
Yep.
So you can see now we're looking at this island. 6 minutes, 10 seconds. In that video I just posted. So the bottom of the bottom of that mountain is missing. How do we calculate how much we should and shouldn't?
Well, like I said, if you can figure out when the curvature of the Earth should start based on your height above the water or above the surface. So you can figure out when the curvature is going to start blocking things, and you can figure out what rate it's going to block things. And then once you know that, then you can sort of look and see, okay, how far away is that thing, and that will tell you how much is being blocked.
Okay.
And then you have to adjust for, to the day that's likely to have a refraction, or you can start to guesstimate at that point and start to make some changes based on approximations.
Okay, so I'm looking at how we're going to determine how much should or shouldn't be seen. So we've got the height of the observer, yeah. And we've got the mountain. We've got the mountain. But the mountain is missing from the bottom. Okay. How will I now know how much should or shouldn't be seen? What do I need?
So you use a version. So you basically use geometry, trigonometry.
So geometry,
that's what
trigonometry.
All those calculators. That's what they do for you. They automatically do the trigonometry.
Trigonometry is back in business. Yeah.
Sure. I don't know what you mean by that, but.
Because you said
that's what the calculators do for you. They automatically do the trick for you.
Yeah. So can you explain then how we will figure out how much of the mountain should or shouldn't be seen? Based on what?
Based on trig. Based on those two variables we just mentioned, and then some trig.
Okay, so that means you've got the height of the observer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Distance to the object.
Distance to the object. Okay, and then what?
And then you have to do the trig part.
Hold on, so you've got you've got the observer and the distance, let's say if it's 1 meter in front. You do trigonometry then?
1 meter is, sure.
Okay.
That doesn't matter how far or not far it is.
Okay, so what would that
they'll tell you that you're not.
What will that tell me?
It'll still work.
If I know that the distance is 1 meter away, what will that tell me about how much should or shouldn't be hidden?
Depending on how high you are above the water.
Yeah, it's 1 meter. 1 meter.
If I tell you that all of it should be seen.
Yeah, so you've got the object 1 meter in front of me.
Yeah.
How will trigonometry tell me now how much should or shouldn't be?
Well, it's like an equation. We can work it out if you want, but
that's what I'm asking you. What do you need? You've got the person, you've got the object who's 1 meter away.
I mean, you want to do the trig? Is that what you're trying to get at?
No. I'm saying, what will it tell me? Let's say it's 1 meter away.
You can use it to figure out all kinds of things. But one of the things you can figure out is hidden height.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how much should or shouldn't be missing. Can I figure that out from 1 meter away?
Of course. If you know your height and you know the distance, you can figure out all kinds of things.
I just said to you 1 meter. The object is 1 meter away.
Are you not listening to me, Spurs?
What?
What are you getting upset about? Listen to what I'm saying.
You're changing my question. I'm saying to you.
You need to know the distance to the object and the
1
height
meter
to the surface.
It's 1 meter.
And then you can figure out all kinds of things, including the hidden height.
Yeah, hidden. So how much is hidden?
Your question is, can we figure out the hidden height given 1 meter and a certain height? The answer is obviously yes. I just said that. I just told you that. 2 variables. Those 2 variables let you figure out a bunch of stuff, including hidden height.
The hidden height behind what?
The curvature.
Okay, so now we're getting there. So, you're saying you're going to measure the distance from the observer to the horizon.
To the horizon?
What are you whispering for, Mr. Scott?
I'm not really whispering, but what do you mean by observer to the horizon?
So, trying to figure out how much should or shouldn't be seen. You said you need the observer and the distance to the object.
Yeah.
So let's say that object is 1 meter away. Can I do trigonometry and work out the hidden value?
Yes,
of this?
we answered this like 5 times. Yes. If you have those 2 variables, it'll give you a bunch of things, including hidden height.
What are the
In that case,
variables?
it'll give you probably
Okay,
0
so
for the
1
hidden
meter away. What are the variables?
What are the variables? I've told you this like 9 times. What is the deal?
No, we went through the height, the distance. So just that's 2 variables.
Height above the surface and distance to the object.
They're just 2 variables: the height of the observer and the distance.
Yes. I mean, that'll get you started. It depends on how complex you want to get. I mean, at some point, if you want to take into account refraction, you're going to need to know more variables than just this. But for a start,
so 1 meter, how much refraction is?
It just depends on how much refraction was there for the day.
Yeah. Give an example where you are right now. Got 1 meter in front of you. How much refraction is there?
I have to look it up, and I have to look it up in weather reports and do some calculations. So I couldn't tell you, but.
So you couldn't tell me the hidden height of an object 1 meter away in front of you now?
Not off the top of my head. Not off the top of my head. I can't tell you the refraction from my area.
So how have they been working it out then? If you can't tell me 1 meter away,
well, you gotta look it up. You gotta do the figure out the weather reports.
But you're the mathematician, right? So I'm looking you up.
I'm not really.
You're the guy who has a degree or PhD in maths, right? You said yes.
So I'm telling you how you do it. You have to look. You have to.
So I
look
look you up. I go on the internet and I look up a guy who's very good at maths and very good at numbers, and that's you.
I don't have data. I don't carry data around with me. I don't have the data. I don't carry it around with me. I can tell you how to calculate it, but you got to get the data
yourself. What are you doing all this time
That's
studying the numbers if you don't understand how to work it out?
Did you think I was supposed to be getting you data or something? Is that what you were hoping?
I would have thought you'd been able to figure out.
On any given day that you might be
You
more
don't know the
interested
math
in.
at the top of your head.
I would have
doesn't
thought, yeah,
necessarily
going
mean you
through
know
all
math.
of this, you'd be able to do a couple of
Data
calculations.
you want. You want to
So what can you do
Yeah,
then?
weather
All right,
conditions,
okay. So what can you do with this degree of yours? Where does it take you? What does it do?
What can I do with my computer science degree? I don't know. Get a job, I guess. I don't use it, I'm a writer.
So you wasted your time.
I actually have it. And
it's a waste of
I
time.
wasted. I found it.
So it's
to be
pointless
very
me
valuable.
asking you about maths and calculations and trigonometry and geometry because you don't know anything about it.
I know plenty about it. I'm telling you what to do. You're just not listening. Yeah, what is it, Devos?
Can you get me 3 figures from Chemo? Height of the observer.
Devos wants 3 figures.
No, I need you to get them for me. Height of the observer, distance to object, height of object.
No, we only need 2 variables, Mr. Scott said.
I
Distance to the object and height of the observer.
I was asking Scott if he could get these from you. Okay, so Scott, could you please get height of observer, which I know is 2 meters already, distance to object, which I don't know, and height of the boat?
Do you have those values? Devos would like them. I don't know if he's looking for them or what.
Sorry?
I don't know how you guys get us confused.
Did you have the distance to the boat, height of the observer, and what was the other one, Devos?
The height of the actual boat, the physical size of that boat.
Oh, the physical size of the boat, the actual bottom to top height of the boat.
Yep.
You seem optimistic about this interaction too, huh?
No, it's just to see how dishonest he is.
So the height of the platforms are 9 miles away. Height of the observer is 1 foot.
You think maybe he's not completely dishonest?
We've got a 1 foot observer and we've got 9 miles away, Davros. Where's the physical horizon?
At that distance,
yeah.
You should be able to see at least 2.5 meters of that boat. Which, by the look of that photo,
I'm not sure if I like the colour of your jib there, Lewis.
So, Mr. Scott, what's your
I actually
position?
put it at 9.5 miles, and you can still see 2.5 meters of that boat. And I only used a 5 meter boat.
Yeah, 1 foot.
And I reckon that's at
your
least
physical
7 meters
horizon
tall.
is 1.22 miles away. You know this, right? How is it we're able to see a 10-mile horizon?
Chemo, I just gave you some numbers of how much of that boat we could see at 9.5 miles.
You just guessed, Davros. You have no idea what you're talking about.
I doubt he guessed, Chemo. You should probably pay attention to it.
Yeah, if you have a degree in maths and Davros has nowhere near any of that kind of knowledge or information, how was he supposed to work it out? You can't work it out.
First of all, I don't have a degree in math. I have a degree in computer science. You don't need a degree at all to do any of this stuff. And Davros does it just fine. I'm sure he did it.
Right, you're a
correct.
mathematician professional, and Davros is.
I'm not a mathematician professional. I'm a writer. You know this.
He gets drunk on the weekends. He gets drunk during the week. You know, this is a guy who thinks he can deal with numbers.
Kimo, what is your issue, dude?
Why would you think that this guy can give us a calculation?
It's just an excuse to be a dick.
Yeah, but how can you think that this guy can give us a calculation versus someone like yourself who concedes that you need more time?
He's not, because he's good at what he does. He's smart.
How can he be good at what he does?
I'm sure he did it right. I've seen him do it before.
I don't even like.
Why are you being such a dick about it?
You just heard those drunken
How much
guesses.
of a dick can you possibly be, Kimo?
You heard those drunken guesses, and you heard that you conceded, Mr. Scott, and said, "Well, I need more time. I need more information."
Could you be more absurd of the way you get around is freaking out a way to insult somebody? Like,
well, I'm just saying that you admitted you need more time. Davros,
I admitted that I don't have the data that you want about your weather conditions in the local area where you live. You're gonna have to look up your weather conditions on your own. Now, you think that means I'm somehow failing you. I think you think absurd thing.
No, we're looking for the experts.
We're
looking for the professionals.
General numbers.
God damn it, Sip.
Yeah, Davros, you're not professional enough to answer this question, are you? Where's the physical horizon?
Scott, he's talking to his audience. That's why he's acting like.
Yeah. Kimo, you know I'm an engineer, right?
Okay, so let's see you design and build something. Demonstrate this.
Well, if you want, I can go and get some photos of some of the shit that I've built tomorrow.
Yeah, let's see you force the line.
Force the line.
You don't even know what it is, so you're not a true engineer then. See?
Force the line. You're a freaking idiot.
You have no idea what I'm speaking of. You have no idea how to make a true horizontal.
Engineering term, moron.
You have no idea how to make a true horizontal, right? So you're not an engineer that we're looking for to help us.
You don't know what I'm an engineer in, do you?
Flat or curved.
Nice presupposition.
Now, Mr. Scott, his father's an astronaut. He is a mathematician. He is a science guy. He's the guy that we suppose would be able to answer these things.
Remember I'm a writer in Hollywood, Kimo? I've told you this before.
Yes, but you have a PhD degree.
Yeah, I'm not a mathematician, Kimo.
But you have a PhD degree in science.
Which, you know, I'm sure to you is probably the equivalent of being a mathematician, but I'm not. I'm a writer in Hollywood.
Yeah, you have a science degree. Yes,
I know lots about computers. Big deal.
You have a science degree.
I have a science degree. Yeah. Well, depends on how you define science. To be honest with you, it's technically a science degree, but it's not really a science degree.
See, Davros, this man has a science degree. So when we ask the big question,
it's usually in the Department of Engineering rather than Department of Science. Usually, natural sciences are on a different.
Yeah, but you know what force the line is. This engineer doesn't.
But computer science usually falls in the Department of Engineering. Or I'm sorry, school.
Are you talking about a drafter?
Oh, now you've just googled it.
Or no?
10 minutes later.
No. Because
that
I'm
conversation was ages
engineer,
ago, Davros. We spoke about that.
Oh shit, he's a
minutes ago.
Kimo, I'm a fabrication engineer. You didn't ask what sort of engineering I did.
Yeah, it's not engineering.
Kimo, you didn't ask what kind of engineering he did.
It's not the kind of engineering that can produce a level, a horizontal.
That'll sort him.
No, it won't.
Oh, Kimo, something I meant to tell you is I do not consent to being recorded. Please don't record me.
Well, Mr. Scott, we have to document the opposition to the Black Swan.
I don't consent to it.
A lot of people out there want to know how the globe earthers, how the ball earthers view this Black Swan. They want to know why.
I do not. Attica.
There are a lot of flat earthers who want to know why the Black Swan is not satisfactory.
Are you? Well, they're not going to find it on your channel because you only have like 200 viewers.
Yeah, but they still want to know, the flat earthers, why. Because remember, we're a very small bunch, very small group.
Why do you guys continue to talk to him?
That small group, Moyak, wants to know why you globe earthers are not satisfied with the Black Swan.
Kimo, can I ask you two questions?
Sure.
Yeah, can you trust your senses?
To a degree.
Oh, okay.
What degree?
Yeah.
To the degree where something may need testing rigorously.
Your degree
so
of
we can't trust
paper basket.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, for example, you see ships going over the horizon. You can trust that it may be going over a physical curvature, right? You know, a physical thing. That's your senses saying, "Look, I don't see the bottom." But when you rigorously answer and check this question, You find turbidity, suspended matter, is the cause of your obstruction, and therefore we can rule out any physical.
In other words, it's just more bollocks from Chemo because he doesn't actually understand the turbidity. When you're talking about a freaking ocean.
Yes.
Yeah, you see water.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, I'm looking at the platform on Hill House here. 9.41 miles away, and we've got
Chemo,
the horizon
can you explain why 50 feet?
Platforms.
Why 50 feet of that rear rig cannot be seen?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, that's suspended matter.
Suspended matter. What in
Is
the
it
Why 50
turbidity on
feet
the
of the
moon?
top of the rig can't be? Or why
Yeah,
it's
that's how
lower?
dummy. Yeah, you can't even see the walkway that's halfway up the.
Oh, I'm looking at a movie. Let me
leg.
post the link because this is a playlist you see, covering all
Chemo,
of the latest
I've
Black
seen
Swan.
it all.
So this
Seen
is
it all.
yeah, this is the one that I'm currently looking at. This is I'm on I'll give you the minutes. On 5 minutes, 3 seconds, and yeah, what we can see is that horizon as he zooms in here. Horizon, the objects here.
Oh,
should
so
be...
you didn't take this footage?
No. Again,
So
this is
you
from
weren't there
the
to
flat Earth.
verify this footage.
No, of course, this is
So
from the
by
flat Earth
the
community.
power of Grayskull, you were not there. Therefore, I cannot accept your evidence.
Okay, I mean that's
Yeah, he's got a
fine.
point there.
Absolutely, I mean that's
the
fair enough.
standard use
But
Chemo.
we would still
you
like
gotta stand up to your own standard.
We would still like to know where is that physical horizon at any given.
Once you get some footage
observation.
that you took, we could figure that out, couldn't we? But until then, you have no idea if this footage is real.
Until when, Mr. Scott?
You have to get some footage that you took yourself. You have to demonstrate it yourself. Otherwise, you're just believing in the word of others, which is something we know that you don't accept and don't think is good.
But that's what we do here, right? We believe the word of others.
No.
I mean, there is not one
There's
globe
not one
earther here, of the 40 globe earthers that are here, there's not one globe here that has done an actual demonstration or experiment themselves, right?
That's not what we do here. In fact, you're very clear about it. You say that if you haven't done it yourself, it doesn't count.
So that's what I'm
you
saying.
Haven't done that yourself by your own words, by your own set of standards. It doesn't count.
So what you're essentially saying is that you don't believe the observations that we're looking at right now on screen.
I'm saying that you have to do the observations yourself in order for us to go forward.
Yeah.
I've done the observation.
According to your
I've seen
rules.
ships go over the horizon.
Yeah, I'm just using your rules.
No suspended matter. It was just sphere.
So is Chemo going to go out and do these observations for us? Or is it going to be really hard for him to get over to Santa Barbara?
No, of course not. All we're doing is bringing evidence to suggest and support our claim that the Earth is not a globe of 3959.
So it's not your evidence.
Well,
It's
does
not
anyone
yours,
does anyone have any evidence
But
of
it's not
either...
yours. But it's not yours, is it? Yeah, but you're the one making the assertions, but it's not your evidence. It's not your intellectual property.
Does anyone have any evidence of their own about the shape of the Earth?
Well, the fact it's not flat is the first piece of evidence.
Do you have any evidence of that? Your own evidence that we can
Yeah,
see right now?
absolutely, because we see sunrises and sunsets.
Okay, let's have a look. Show us your video.
Why do I need to show you a video? What time is it for you?
Have you seen it, Chemo? Have you seen the sunset?
So you don't have any evidence?
Many times.
But I do.
Chemo.
You can watch it tonight, mate. Watch the sun go down and watch the moon come up.
Okay.
You'll notice they come up from behind things or drop down below things. That is indicative of going down past the horizon.
You do know you can't trust your senses, right, Davros? Especially when you're drunk,
Why don't you use
constantly,
a
when you're
camera to make
intoxicated.
that-
How do
why
you
don't
know
you
that
use
when
a
you've been
camera to
drinking a
make
lot
that?
of alcohol, Davros, that you're not seeing
I
things?
don't drink.
Davros doesn't drink, mate. That's me. You got us mixed
How
up.
do you know,
I
Davros,
wish you wouldn't
that,
do.
how can you trust your senses, Davros?
But I didn't say to use your senses. I said you could use the camera to make the
Yeah,
observation.
how do you
and
trust
then
your
the
senses,
camera.
Davros?
Oh, well, see, this is the thing, mate. I'm going to turn this around. How do you trust your senses that BLMS's 6983?
What are you saying? Are you drunk? You're saying some drunken words here, Davros. Can you be clear on your words on what you're saying? Start again.
Spurs. He doesn't drink.
But Davros, you said you saw something
Spurs,
happen.
did you hear
how
that?
have
I
you?
think
How
he
did
said
you
he
trust?
doesn't drink.
How did you trust your senses,
Spurs,
Davros?
Spurs, you got it wrong. Davros doesn't drink.
How did you trust your senses, Davros? You saw something happen, but you didn't verify it practically with any practical measurements.
It seem like it's silly.
Do you have anything yourself, Davros, to show? You've gone silent, Davros. Are you having a drink?
Spurs.
Hold on, we're waiting for
Am I
Davros
here?
to show us why and how
Well, Spurs,
his observations demonstrate we're on a ball.
mic.
How did he trust his senses?
I just want to clear something up. Spurs. Davros doesn't drink.
He does now. He sounds like he's having.
No, he
He
doesn't.
sounds like he just
No, he
opened a
doesn't.
whiskey bottle there, right,
You
Davros?
can't just make him drink. He's not going to do what you say, Chemo.
Davros?
He doesn't want to drink.
Davros gone awfully
But he's-
quiet. He said he saw something with his senses. How did he
sounds
trust
like
his
he drinks to you.
senses?
That's your senses playing up again. Your sense of hearing's playing up.
It's
How did you
also
try? Oh,
other
he's back.
people's-
He's
I was
back.
giving other people a chance to
He's
speak.
back. Go
while
ahead,
you kept
Davros.
Blithering on. But you kept blithering on, and you wouldn't let me say what I had to say. This is how you run a show?
Yeah, Chemo. This is how you run a show. I'm disappointed in you. I think you are in yourself.
Come on,
Not to
Spurs, you've done
mention
better
making
shows
a
than this.
Not to mention making assertions about me being a drunk.
Yeah.
That's below the line, man.
I wasn't even going to go there, but you know what? Go on, Davros.
You shouldn't mix up Davros and me, Spurs.
How did you trust your senses, Davros?
But did I trust my senses? Did I say anything about my senses?
You said you saw something
Are you telling
happen.
me?
You said the sun goes down. The
I
sun, you
did
said
not
go
say
outside
that.
and have a look. I'm like, yeah. How do you trust your senses without verifying or measurements?
La-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. Nice straw man. I didn't say that.
Drunk as
I
a
said
skunk, this
you
he
can
is. Now he's
watch-
singing drunken
You can
songs.
watch sunsets.
Apparently this man's
Have
not
you
drunk.
seen I said, have you seen sunsets? Have you seen
So what?
sunrises?
So what? We've all seen sunsets.
I said, have you?
So what?
Not
What
me.
does it mean? What does it mean?
But
yeah, I've
they
seen
have
them.
to go behind
I've seen them.
something to
What does it
set.
mean?
Yeah, chemo. Jesus Christ. What's
Can
wrong?
somebody
Have I
mute him?
turned up the heat?
He's fucking
You know he can't
malfunctioned
laugh.
again, hasn't he?
You can repeatedly mute him.
It doesn't really work. We tried before.
Davros, what does
kinda
it
works
mean?
a
We
little
see a
bit, but not
sunset.
enough.
We see mirages. What does it
I
mean?
think it'd work great.
We see boats flying
Yeah, like
upside down.
Mod's doing it. Maybe it can work
We see
three versus
the
one.
bottom missing sometimes. We don't see it missing sometimes.
Oh, you
So
could
what?
just- Everybody could turn his volume down.
What does
Yeah,
it mean,
that's a good idea.
Davros?
People should do that, but, yeah. I would do it. I've done it before, but if people won't do it en masse. That's the problem. Oh, it's just somebody who wants to keep talking.
It should take people about 5
Right,
minutes
Lewis,
to
you're
realize he's not
derailing
worth
here. We were
talking
having a
to.
conversation about the Black Swan, and
Yeah.
you've interrupted to say what exactly?
Why are we
You
having
know,
a
I'm not going to
conversation about the
continue
Black
to engage you.
Excellent, excellent. So that's a concession. Davros has conceded. He's recognised that his senses cannot be trusted just because he sees something going
Just the
behind.
really bad problem is that he
Just
keeps
because he
on
sees something
talking
behind
after,
turbidity,
everybody stops
suspended
interrupting.
atmosphere,
I
he
just
cannot
put- I just
conclude
put
that
it
it's
there.
going behind a physical curved Earth. Well
It
done,
really
Davros.
is. It would be
without-
shockingly effective if everybody just put it to zero. It'd just be unbelievable.
Something
'cause
serious.
No one can hear him talk. People would
We
overtalk.
have to talk about something serious.
Okay, what's serious?
We really should.
Like,
Well, Russia's in second place now.
I gotta go to
Well, I
bed in
don't
like
wanna-
5 minutes, so hurry up.
I don't want to decide what the room talks about. It's just if there was flat earthers here or noobs or someone that wanted to engage, but we've heard this a million times. As no one thinks this is flat Earth proof. None of these people will ever believe in flat Earth, Kimber. They've decided no to that.
Well, it's not true.
I mean, I would believe if I had.
There are useful idiots. They're not coming to.
Wait, Dawn, Dawn, are you a flat earther?
Red pill them on more important things.
Dawn, are you a
Get
flat
it,
Or
earther?
wake them up on more important things.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Dawn.
This game is good when there's
monotone
newbies
man.
playing it, but not these people. They've decided they don't believe in this.
Dawn.
Yeah,
Dawn,
like
are
you do.
Are you a flat earther?
Dawn is LARPing.
I'm not a flat earther.
He
Oh,
does,
okay.
Dawn's on the same side as Chemo because he believes there's this great, big, grand cabal of people trying to control the world, right? So, in that sense, they're on the same side.
So now he's a flat earther day.
No, he's not a flat earther.
He just said he
just-
was.
Annoyed because we're talking about this stuff again.
Well, I'm just showing the
You're not
Flat
a
Earth
flat earther.
family the response to the Black Swan. Whether you accept it or not, Dawn,
Come on,
or
hold
whether
your
the ball
tongues.
Earth is accepted or not is a different matter. At least we've shown
I have keyboards,
that the
yeah.
Earth is not 3959. We've shown them. We've seen the
Be
evidence.
strong, people.
And all we're doing is either
He's
looking for the
strong.
response or looking for the reaction, right? People want to see the reaction of the globe Earthers. How do they respond to evidence that shows the Earth is not what they tell us? That's all this is about, dude.
It's not evidence.
Like that. So he says it's not evidence. Now,
I
obviously,
think
that,
there should be
I
a
can
rule
show you.
against the server
Chemo.
or in the server that he can't just talk to his audience.
Chemo, I can show you evidence that the Earth is
Ah, you weren't
less
strong.
than 10
Don't
miles.
mind.
he
flat.
can
Right,
show
right.
evidence. Why are you guys interrupting Bubba? I don't understand this. Bubba wants to
Good.
say something, and you're preventing dialogue. So, Bubba, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you evidence that the Earth is less than
Okay, let's have a
10
look.
miles flat. Yep, just a second. Well,
Yeah.
it's the your own evidence also shows. Where
To
you can't
quote
see the
Lewis,
bottom.
yeah, this will
Well,
get him.
Yeah, there's two pictures. This is that the small flat Earth gang.
Okay. So we have an
So,
observation.
flat-
Let's get these pictures up so we see.
Is that a tidal bore, do you think, Spores?
What's that, sorry?
Yeah, that's a tidal bore there. Give me a tidal bore.
Listening to
Tidal bore.
people talk to chemo is a tidal bore.
Okay, so you've got some wind turbines.
Nice one, Lewis.
Yeah.
I say about
Okay,
how
and you've
small
got
is the Earth.
a
Be good for
ship
you, Lewis.
behind
Oh yeah.
a horizon. Okay, so your claim would be that this horizon here is of physical nature, yeah, and the
Yeah,
obstruction
that's one.
is of a physical nature also. But
Great white swan.
yeah, I mean, if you
Same as that.
understand that, if you can see, especially on with the ship, we can see that the watercoloring is a different coloring, giving an indication of suspended matter. We can see here in the
in the
foreground
far
that the water is more consistent
Chemo.
to the
Chemo.
water there in the
Hold.
horizon,
Hold.
which has been raised up,
Oh.
giving the illusion,
Chemo.
the impression that this is a
Chemo.
physical horizon.
Chemo.
Yes, back to you.
Chemo.
It's not the
What is
resistance.
suspended matter?
It's not the resistance.
What's suspended matter? I've never heard that term.
Suspended
Taking
matter.
us back to a 2017 Nathan paradigm.
Let me get you a video explaining suspended matter. Turbidity, as it. Yeah, so basically what it
Spurs, you
is
see
it's
Do you see
particular.
that first picture, Spurs? The first picture with the wind turbines?
Yeah,
So the blades are all bent and misshapen?
right.
There's no way they would have been built that way, right?
No, absolutely.
Okay, just clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all you're looking at here is suspended matter, atmospheric turbidity, where particulates in the atmosphere hung around temporarily. If you were to be patient and stay at that spot, that would clear up and you would see the bottom of those wind turbines. Give it a day, give it an hour, depends on weather.
Okay, so you're claiming that.
But Bob, let me just get you this video.
You
How long?
probably need to cite the weather.
Hey, Spurs, those blades on them wind turbines, if they were built that way, do you think they would spin?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the power of the engine, right? So take a look at this here.
You mean
Bubba.
the engine as in, when you say engine, you mean the wind engine, right?
Yeah, the
Is that
power, the
what you mean?
force, yeah. So as long as you've got the enough power to turn it, whether it be the wind, whether it be an engine.
How much wind would it take to turn the ones closer to the camera compared to the ones further away that are more weird looking?
I mean, it would be the same because none of them are actually bent. But let me just direct Bubba to
Sure.
this suspended matter video. So it's just a very short video. It explains how the atmosphere is constantly on the move there, Bubba, and it can cause obstruction, as I demonstrate in the video here. So this is what's causing a lot of problems when you're making measurements on certain objects being obstructed behind horizon, or so-called horizon.
Hey, Spurs, the blades on those wind turbines in that picture, the ones at the back, they look suspended.
There you go, you see? So the ones that are bent, yes, they are caught up in the suspended. That's a very good point there, was.
Were they designed in a suspended fashion, do you think? Or
No.
Something else
So again, that's just the atmosphere. So when what you've got is a slight lag, because in reality,
so they're suspended in the atmosphere.
No, because we can see that one of them, the one on the right, is bent like a boomerang, right? And if you see the one at the top, it's straight up. Goes straight up, one at the top, and the one on the left. So we've got how many? We've got
the one at the right.
Yeah, the one on the right, the far right. Focus on the one on the far right.
There's a far right one and a far left one. I can see a post.
We're going to focus on the far right.
Fixed to.
Yeah, we're going to focus on the far right. Post Take a look at the one on the far right.
Right.
Far right turbine. Right. So we can see that the thing here is straight up.
All right.
Yeah.
The thing. Hang on.
Yeah.
What's that a technical term for?
What are you looking at exactly?
I'm looking at the far right.
Okay, what do you see?
I see a thing that is attached to.
Right, exactly. So that thing, one of them is straight.
Right.
And the other one is...
That's the far right, right?
And what is the other one is?
And the one on the left.
Yeah.
Is that is left far as well? Because I can right be far and left be far.
Do you see what I see?
Do you see what I see?
Do you see what I see?
Oh, yeah. I see what you see.
Okay. So you can see...
I'm looking at 4 turbines. 2 in the middle look extremely distorted.
One of the propellers...
Like they're suspended.
One of the propellers is bent like a boomerang. Yes?
Right. Yeah, that's the far right?
On the far right, we have a propeller that is bent like
just to the left of the far right.
Yeah, so the wind turbine on the far right, the propeller on the left of the far right one is bent like a boomerang. You're in Australia, you know what a boomerang is, yeah?
Yes, I see that now that you mention it, yeah.
Right, so we see the one that's bent like a boomerang.
Wait, right as in far right, yeah. To the left of far right, bent like a boomerang.
So we see there's like a delay.
Is that bending to the... Is it bending to the left or to the right? Because I see 3 of them bent actually, like a boomerang.
Yeah, so one of them is bent to the left.
Right.
We're going to look at the one that's bent to the left. Yeah?
Right. Oh, sorry, left. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, get your left and right in order. So it's bent to the left and it's kind of in the water. See that, like it's in the water?
I feel I should say okay rather than right. Might make things
do you see that the propeller there is kind of bent like a boomerang in the water? We've got on screen right now. See that? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see that.
Yeah, good man.
What is that?
Right. Well, that's just it. So we know that that propeller there should be
straight. That due to the?
It should be around
due to
here, at this
due
point.
to the fertility in the atmosphere.
Yeah. So you see this point that I'm pointing at here? Good. So you see that here it should be straight.
I can't see you pointing it. I can't see you pointing at something, mate. Sorry. What are you pointing at?
Oh, that's all right.
Are you pointing with your finger or your mouse?
With the mouse here. Look, you see with the mouse? Yep. My hand, the hand mouse is over it. You see that? Good. So that should be straight.
No,
oh, you don't see that? That's okay. Don't worry
mate.
if you don't see that. But that should be straight, completely straight. But we see it's bent like a boomerang. Now, we know that there is a delay. It's just.
Can I point with my mouse? Oh yeah, I can see my mouse pointing in it. Okay, I got you now.
Got me, yeah. So, in reality, we know that that propeller should in fact be here, along this line here.
Where are you pointing now?
Just along here. And in actual fact, we see it here. So we know there is a delay suspended here, and for some reason, it seems to have caught
you
the image.
You said
it's
you
caught
said the
the
word
image
here 3 times.
Yeah, it's caught
the
image here, and it's delayed it from being here. Because in reality, if this area wasn't with suspended matter, you would see a nice clear shot just like we see there. Yeah. So that's what turbidity is. That's how it works, and that's what causes a lot of the observation confusion that you guys.
So you're saying, because of this fertility, the Earth is flat.
Yes, I mean, as far as the globe being 3959, that goes out the window. We throw that in the trash. We put that on the bonfire. We throw it down the sewage. Yeah, I mean, that gets completely crushed because those numbers were absolutely pulled out of thin air, right?
Okay. So I just want to clarify that I don't sound like Davros, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Davros doesn't drink.
Okay.
Come on, what's with the yes? Yeah.
Because I see his point. I see where he's coming from.
It's just a little excited. Yeah.
I see where he's coming from. I understand his position.
He's excited to explain his fertility to us.
Yeah.
So, Bubba, those 2 images that you presented easily debunked, knowing that we don't have a physical geometric horizon. We know
we have it, though.
that this can't be calculated with any geometry of any kind. So unless you would be able to... Sorry, go ahead, Bubba.
Yeah, we know distances and we can model them on a surface.
Yeah, the distances to what, sorry?
Many distances on Earth between cities and places and points, GPS coordinates, things like that.
No, yeah, well, yes and no, because a lot of these are assumed. But when we're talking practical,
what does it matter? What does it matter? I mean, you've been over this ad nauseum, right? Why are you bringing this black swan shit up again?
There's a couple of reasons why. The main reason is because a lot of people don't understand the argument, and we're just trying to explain
what's the argument.
Because the whole house of cards falls down with this observation.
What's the argument?
Well, if the Earth is a sphere, yes, with a radius of 3959, then every horizon must be no more than 1.2.
Right, but you've been told again, why that's not valid, Kimo. Why are we going over this?
Well, the reason it is valid, Chris, is because now we know that we're not dealing with something physical. If it's not physical, that means every measurement ever made.
Times. I'm not going to get into it again. Oh, I found my toothpick. Yay. I came on. Fucking hell. This is bollocks.
No, I know it's hard. I know it's difficult.
It's not hard. It's not about being hard, Kimo. It's about repetition and being repetitive and being tedious and having no good reason.
Okay, so what's the size? What's the radius of the Earth? Then?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to you what the size of the Earth is, no?
I don't know. It's like 3,900 and some odd miles. What does it matter? Why?
Okay,
why
so
do you care?
That means there must be a physical horizon every so often. Yes?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Turns out that's not true.
No, that's not the case.
How? We've got a black swan observation that says otherwise.
Oh, fuck's sake, Kimo. Why are you bringing this back up?
We've got infinite white swans as well, so it doesn't mean anything.
White swan? Show me a white swan.
I want to know what, Kimo, why are you bringing this back up?
Where's the white swan, Dawn?
Kimo, why are we going over this again?
Chris, I said in January. What month are we in now? The lockdown has just made it. We're now in May, right? So in January.
It's June.
Are we in June? No, it's May.
He's babbling onto new topics.
See, I told you, Chris. Everyone is confused with the dates. You think we're in June?
No, but right, okay.
Right, we're actually in May. Right? That's what I'm saying. This lockdown has messed with everyone's consciousness, their mind, whatever. But the point is, anyway, I said to you, yeah, the reason why, I'm telling you why, Chris. I said to you in January when this was a thing. I think it was even around before that, but I did mention it here that in January, this is not going to go away. This is the number, because Jem, you know Jem, we all know Jem. Jem would say to us,
those poor people on that oil rig.
Jem would say to us, oh, Emo, why do you flat earthers always have something that can be easily be debunked? You don't have that one piece of information, data.
This is not a good reason.
No, but now we have it. That one piece that absolutely annihilates any notion of a globe.
What's new? What's something new?
Any of our heads, none of us believe it does.
You do. All you're doing now is coming to terms with it, Dawn. That's all.
What's new about
it's
this?
Literally a trick from a different altitude. I don't believe it.
Dawn, you can stay at the same elevation and have that horizon change depending on the weather. We've never known this before. Sorry, Bubba. We've never known this before. We always thought that the horizon stayed in one place. And then what was
repetitive, Chemo?
No, we didn't.
No. Yeah, that's what we thought. We like this picture now that you've just posted.
Oh, we didn't think that.
Look, the picture that you've just posted. Let's get it back up so we can all have a look what you've just posted. So So here, this picture here that you've posted, showing the bottom of the boat's missing. Now we always thought that this horizon line would stay there from this observational height forever, never ever change. And if we see more of that boat, it's because it's refracted over that horizon.
Well,
Dawn.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you are dominating the conversation. Can I ask you a question?
Sure, you can. Yeah.
All right. Did anybody ever say that boat would never come back a little bit because of refraction, looming?
And this is, Chris, I'm not being rude. This is why, Chris, Moyek does not understand the argument. This is why we have to repeat it over and over again.
I mean, even if that was true, even if it was true that Moyek doesn't understand the argument, which it isn't, but even if it was, you couldn't possibly have known that. So you've still got no good reason for bringing this back up, Chemo. You're bringing nothing new to the table. It's just the same old tired bollocks because you've been watching Nathan Oakley or you've been watching fucking a clip of Nathan Oakley and he's been talking about this bollocks, and that's why you're bringing it up, because you get fucking nothing else.
Well,
damn, Mike, I thought you were going to ask about the turbine.
It's not just Nathan. There's also QE, Quantum Eraser. Yes, and like I say, there's a very small group of flat earthers, right? There's Anthony.
I'm sorry, I know you don't like swearing, so I'll sort that.
Right?
You've
got Chocolate saying.
Cunt.
They're a very small group we are, right? And yeah, when there's information that goes between us, yeah, we're going to use these. If the argument is strong, Chris, make no mistake. If one of us,
star.
It's like if you have a group of friends. Like this, how I see it. If you have a group of friends, Chris, and one of you become a millionaire, billion trillionaire, are you not going to divide and share the wealth amongst your friends? But everybody now has a Lamborghini. Everybody has a helicopter. Everyone has a yacht. That's what this is like. Flat Earth is like gold to us. We've struck gold, and once we find the diamond in the rough. Yes, we're going to shine and polish that diamond, and that's what this is right now. This is the diamond in the rough, Chris, and we're going to share that diamond for all the flat earthers too. We want to make sure that every flat earther uses this argument to ensure that anyone who tries to put forward the idea of a globe, we can just stop that. We can destroy that.
You have to hand it to him. He is like capable to talk non-stop about nothing.
I mean, do forgive me, Moyes. Do apologize. So yeah. So look, yeah. What is the response, Chris? Because it won't go away.
I wasn't listening, I was just thinking of things.
It's not about belief, Dawn. There's no need for beliefs in this. Okay, we
just
are
showing that I could use to mock you, Chemo.
We are showing empirical facts.
It doesn't mean anything to us. So it's a waste. It's a waste of time.
Diving in the muff.
See, I think the image I posted there is a good reason why Chemo is just full of fucking shit.
What's that image there? Just as posted.
But we don't know what the stars are.
Let's see what Druss has posted. Posted.
I also would like to know what's the.
Okay, Drust, what is this image, and why have you posted this?
Well, we could just talk over chemo. I mean, he's doing the
Well,
same.
I'm actually after his exhibition yesterday. I'm not talking directly to him, so yeah. But I think that image there just shows that
what happened
a
yesterday?
piece of shit.
Josh, what happened yesterday?
Chemo and Pritch. I mean, what he did was just fucking.
Tell me.
Basically, the guy comes in. He's absolutely pissed out of his head. He's talking in a very suicidal kind of way, and chemo starts going all flat earth on him. I mean, it was just fucking ridiculous. He was told to shut the fuck up and wouldn't listen.
Is this a person? Is this a person whom we know?
Aussie guy called Pritch.
And that concludes the Black Swan foot.
I think that bouncing is very interesting. That might be what's happening.
Wait a minute, Pritch, what? He was talking suicide?
He was very unhappy yesterday. He was very, very, very upset yesterday.
Did you talk him down?
No, I don't know well enough. A couple of his Aussie buddies took him into a room, and I left them to it. Wanted took him down there. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Well, he's a bit of a shit.
Fucking shit, Kimo. Why are you being fucking cunts that are fucked up?
I would like to know what the flat Earth explanation is for the way we can.
No, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Kimo, why are you being a cunt to people that are fucked up?
He won't answer.
Yeah,
he's a Christian. It's because he's a good Christian.
Until I can calm down, I'm not going to be speaking to chemo directly.
All right.
I'm so fucked off with him that if I was in the same, I would beat the living fuck out of him for what he did yesterday.
What did he do exactly? I mean, what did he say? Josh, what was he saying?
He was basically going on about, you're obviously this depressed and upset because of the fact that you recognize.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that shit.
He's done that to me, like, oh, Chris, you're depressed because you've been lied to about the globe. What was it? That shit.
Yeah,
basically.
and then the chemotherapy came out as well. Yada yada yada. And I mean,
Jesus Christ, fucking despicable, man. What the fuck's wrong with you?
It's like there's no empathy to any other human being. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're a fucking troll, but I didn't think you were a malicious troll. I didn't think you were a malignant prick. I thought you were more or less harmless. But this is unforgivable.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, Chris. I mean, I get pissed off with people for about 20 seconds, and then I'm back to pretty being okay again.
Right.
I am still fucking raging about it.
Right. So Kurt mentioned something that really angered him, and when he said he woke up and he heard some things that angered him, and he didn't get into any detail, but he's still angry about it. So I can only imagine that's what it was. Oh, and the curve's here again. So
it was like you said his name and he like instantly appeared. That was really fucking
right. So that's fucked up, man. Kimo, have you got anything to say for yourself?
Cricket.
I think this should be the topic of conversation anytime chemo comes in for one.
I think it should be, Mark.
But I would like to know what the flat Earth explanation is.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
What? No, I'm not talking to chemo. Just in general, like what the explanation is.
Why do you want to know that?
We can predict Aurora Borealis over here. If we don't know what space is.
We don't know what Aurora Borealis is. It's just like
Borealis. Why?
Fucking hell, man. You just can't. Fucking autistic as fuck, man. You just can't leave Flat Earth alone for 5 fucking minutes.
Well, chemo's not responding, so I mean, we could just bitch at him.
Right, but still, keep the fucking pressure on, right? He's listening.
Well, remember the dilemma here. Chemo loves the negative attention. He loves being rated. He loves people noticing the bad things he does. It makes it difficult to deal with him in that manner because you're really rewarding him.
He's there spanking off in his office.
You know, I'm gonna go and take a nap before work. Pointless again, this.
So he's got nothing to say for himself. Nothing at all, Chemo. You're shameless.
But actually, Curved is right. The way to actually hurt Chemo is not to berate him or call him a piece of shit like I'm doing at the moment, which is a bit stupid. But it is actually just to ignore him. If he can't get his message out,
kills him.
He will just get really frustrated, and I would love to make him really frustrated at the moment.
I mean, look, I'd be happy to ignore him, but I mean, we would all have to do it.
We can't get that unity.
We can't get that unity, right?
We all get sucked into it, and when there's so many people, at some point somebody gets sucked in.
I am now in Camp Curved.
Hey, on this issue, it's not a bad place to be.
I think what's funny though is, you know, a lot of people will say this, but like when